Welcome to Grow Overload. And let's talk a little bit about Xbox and gaming here. We've already seen some games come to PlayStation 5, and I have an Xbox. I enjoy playing on it, every once in a while when I get a chance. But how much different is it than it is of a computer? I kind of wish that, your desktop here, you could put in like an Xbox or gaming mode, and you could have the raw performance that you see on like an Xbox and stuff just off your desktop that may well be more powerful than the Xbox itself, which would be a pretty cool little scenario to have enabled in Windows. And that is maybe where I'm going down the line of, kind of reading between the lines of what Phil Spencer's saying here recently at, what is it, Games? They're announcing a whole bunch of game stuff right now, and I can't remember where they're at. Gamescom. And so they're talking about that they're, running a business, right? And that makes sense. They're running a business and that they're got to make money. To spend $70 billion in Activision Blizzard, maybe they might have overpaid for it a little bit. So you got to think, well, we got to do something. And what it looks like they're doing is first they're, increasing the prices of the Xbox Game Pass. And so those prices are now increased. So the prices have already taken effect, and the prices of recurring charges on existing members will take effect in September. And so get ready for that if you haven't already, or if you haven't already seen that increase. And you have to decide if that is something that makes sense for you to continue, right? Um, I do not have my Game Pass lapse whenever I got off of it, and so I haven't been on Game Pass for a long time. I don't play enough games. I'd rather just buy the games that I do play and play them. And I have a backlog too, so it's not like I have to get through my backlog. That's a running thing, especially if you have Steam as a backlog of games. But th- they're they're looking at trying to make all this money off it. Now they did cancel some games and studios already, which I said I didn't like. Right, I'm one that I want more games being released, not less. And so we'll see where Microsoft goes with that and their games here going forward. But they have Indiana Jones and stuff like this coming out, and some of these games, while they will be on Xbox right away, they're also going to be on Steam, some of them right away. And this is where some of the Xbox fanboys, and I think rightfully so, that have stuck by Xbox are a little bit concerned of what's going on and where they are going to see their future, especially since they supported Xbox through thick and thin. They have stood by Xbox's side, and they seem to be like, this is getting, the shaft. Now, here's what I think Microsoft should be doing, and I've listened to some of their stuff that they're saying, and it seems like while they're going multi-platform with with PlayStation, they've put some games on Nintendo. They don't just say that they're bringing out the games um, to Xbox and saying we're trying to sell our Xbox Game Pass and everything else, and we're giving all the games to you so that you have the latest games and you can play all the latest games right away when they're on our platform. And then they go, but wait, don't worry, we're released to PlayStation as well. And this is where, if you're a PlayStation player, this is great because you're going to finally get some of these games that were only on Xbox on your platform as well. And I think that's a good thing overall. I like to see more gaming platforms over everything else. But I think one thing Phil Spencer is kind of not saying here in everything that he's talking about is that there's no money in hardware. We want to put our games wherever they're willing to make money. It's just we cannot just force them on Xbox because we do not make any money on Xbox, the physical part of Xbox, not the games part. So I think that's what they're doing, trying to put the games where players are. Hopefully they'll sell because some of the top games played, right? Call of Duty, Madden, FIFA, right? Those are the major ones. But when you're looking at what they are trying to do with some of these new franchises and getting these franchises up and running that are exclusives, they're not exactly the biggest drivers of people playing, but they do get a sense of one reason or another of why to buy a console and do it, right? PlayStation has some exclusive, but even those are coming to um, PC, or some of them have come to PC. So my thought is why are with Microsoft focusing on this and kind of leaving some Xbox users out in the rain? I think that they have to come out and just create a massive, powerful console as their next console, whatever that is. And if it is a console, one thing I like to see is maybe it's just more standard hardware off the shelf. Let's say they go with AMD, put in like a Zen 6 processor with maybe they have a 9600, 9700 in there, whatever that GPU is, and RDNA 5, whatever it is. Maybe it could be even a semi-custom RDNA, 9650, right? Something that AMD wouldn't normally have on the shelf. Fine, you want specific performance or whatever else, but it's close enough, and it just runs kind of like a Windows game mode, right? Because that's just Xbox is kind of like a hypervisor. Xbox OS is kind of slightly different, right? And it just runs something like that, and you get full gaming access, and you can just throw it in there. Let's say you throw the computer right underneath your Xbox. It was just computer underneath your computer, and you can just be like, oh yeah, I can play Xbox game just as everything else. It's got the TV mode. Let's say you want to play it more on desktop, and it still allows you to maybe run Word and everything else in it as well, just in a desktop mode, until you want to play games. I think that is the next step that Microsoft should be taking. Then you can put your Steam on there, you can put all your games on there, and instead of Xbox being just a one device thing that they're just selling, right? It's now in the Windows that you can enable game mode, and even if game mode or whatever else is in Windows, and you just have it where people can switch, or you have game bar, so just Xbox game bar, let's just make it a game mode, and it just disables all the junk that you don't need, doesn't run the background tasks in that. It's just a gaming device for that little bit of period of time until somebody maybe switches out or whatever else. And this is something where I think Microsoft could have some success with in the hardware space, where OEMs could build like an Xbox specific device, and everyone gets in on building this device. Think of handhelds. You have a handheld that has Xbox mode, and now handhelds are in this device, and you jump through making no money in hardware to having somebody else design where the hardware is. So I think that this is a process here that AMD could take, or AMD, so that Microsoft and Xbox could take advantage of here, and I think that there could be a better output to gamers and a better output to those Xbox users that are feeling that they're being left out. I think that they have to build a device and put it in that $500 range, and then make one a little bit cheaper. That is just an amazing device for that these users in those price ranges can have access to, and all their games, as well as if they want to jump on Game Pass because they play a lot of games, that they have that benefit too. And this is something that I think Microsoft needs to work towards, because if they don't, it feels like you are kind of rubbing salt in the wound of your Xbox supporters. Whereas if you come out with something and show them a little bit of love, yes, you may still go through and release games on other platforms. I get it. You want to make money off these, but do it in a way where you're supporting your most loyal users and most loyal supporters while bringing it to other platforms. You could have some really success here. And I think sometimes they're just thinking about the dollar signs and forgetting about the people that support your platform. The problem is that when you're looking at the dollar signs and where they're at, and not looking at your loyal fans, they no longer become loyal fans, and less they support you, which causes a detriment on your overall business. So I hope Microsoft will take some heart and take some thought into this going forward about those people that have supported, and give them something this next generation, whenever they come out with the next generation Xbox, that they can really take a hold of and be like, well, I stuck by you thick and thin, and this is why. We'll see what they do. I've contemplated going back and forth of just getting rid of my Xbox, because it's just like, if Microsoft's just going to make more PC, I may just build a PC and throw it there instead. And if it had a Xbox mode, I think that would be even or gaming mode, that'd be amazing, and that's something that I would incentivize me more to build that, because I would enjoy building a PC that could just sit next to the TV and just be a sofa kind of gaming machine. I'd be worth it. But I'm sure there's a lot of people that wouldn't want to do that. We see a lot of people that just want to buy a computer, and Microsoft could sell just a base unit, and there could be a whole bunch of designs out there, leverage the OEMs that they already work with. I think that there could be a huge market for this, of different OEMs that make something kind of cool. Maybe even some smaller boutiques that do a better job than the big guys. So with that, let me know your thoughts on this with the Xbox and everything else. Where do you think the gaming and where games will go and where the consoles will go? I'm interested to hear your guys' opinion in the comments below. Until next time, I hope to get more videos out next week. I had a little problem here, so big cut, and now I can't bend my finger for a week. So hopefully it heals. They glued everything back together. So yeah, it's been fun, interesting. I want to get some videos out more this week, but things happen. So with that, thank you so much for watching, subscribing, watching another one of my videos, liking, hitting the bell icon. It really just helps with the channel. Until next time, God bless.